Now, welcome back to Final Fantasy IV. Time to enter Lunar Whale and see what's going on in this piece of technology. Well, there's a big fat chocobo bird right here that you can stash your items. Not that you need them in this version because of the handy, very much bigger inventory, but it's still nice to see it there. And there's a chance to sleep. They sleep in these parts, or whatever you want to call it. There's a big switch or lever which would allow you to fly with a lunar whale and a crystal. Leave the Earth, and I don't... now as I do remembering, never earlier, also never later, there was travel to physical travel to other planetary bodies or worlds. But there is a very ominous looking crystal structure, all kinds of caves, and small structures that, well, are anything but just time to let's just land in the moon and leave and not need any spacesuit, and right away fight with a completely different critters around here, which are some sort of weird local wildlife. And they do pack a punch, at least against edge, which really doesn't tell much. And they drop items, which are handy. And music is very ethereal and otherworldly. Just put a defend on and blast out Odin. Yep, enemies around this place are quite beefy, which is quite appropriate when you go to a completely alien world that you wouldn't really know what's going on, what kind of things are going on. But the way I kind of wiped them out quite real nice and real neat. And did I have still the boost mode on? No, I didn't. So enemies give a lot of experience points as well. And it is real nice that they went for this kind of more mystical style of. And let's just see what kind of damage and destruction might Odin dish. Can it actually do its fame-renowned ability of... no, just two of them. Yep, telling that Odin is in this game quite unreliable, so when you would have a chance to just dish out big amount of damage or potentially do kill to multiple, you could say, you'd rather just dish out big amounts of damage than potentially cause instant death, which most likely will not work. So just... so, but from that amount of fighting and damage, you can say that the battles here are quite hard. So I'll be doing the editing them out phase thing right away after these encounters, because, well, seeing every battle after every battle absolutely torn to shreds is not that interesting. But, and of course, Moon is smaller than Earth, so they will be different. But flats. Flats are still same gimmicky foe. And there are lots of caves. And still continuing. enemies around this the lunar surface and caves are quite strong, but which I did say are company. But the game had already built, or say, had foreshadowings that something big plot events would be happening in this place. So it will be seen how big plot elements there will be seen in this place. Yeah, steal ability of Edge, potentially really good, practically useless, because you do need Osmosis, also that kind of spell that, yeah, it is theoretically is good, but practically not that useful. Which is a real shame, because in these earlier Final Fantasy games, there are quite often very useful abilities and that which in practice are useless, because they don't do enough damage, or just so many enemies are immune to whatever ability they are using against them. So it will be just usually more practical just to use the direct damage spells and wail at your enemies or targets however you wish like it. Then just try to be elemental weaknesses once they actually got with the very good inflammation have been very useful already. But a crystal palace, what would be going on? Well, reception is friendly, and there's a nice looking chair, a throne with a light. So it would be a big show, quite an impressive show. Yeah, he looks like a sage. So, unusual. Well, Lunarian Fusoya gave exposition and also gave a decided to tag along because, well, he is kind of. But still, I would say that, well, when you look at time, we now know the main influencer of the game, or main bad guy of the game, named Zemus Lunarian, who likes the idea of hostile terraforming, and there are crystals in here as well. So there was also the crystals of the moon, which are here, and because Fusoya has most likely been just guarding these, he doesn't most likely do much. But now I know something that I have to return to the blue planet, so I guess I have to edit out the returning trip, because it might be quite tiresome to watch. Now, when you actually look about what Fusoya says about Lunarians, that they are asleep in lunar core, in a sense makes no sense, because yes, of course, they are there sleeping, waiting for the time to happen, and then they place some guardians, but it would make sense that how much guardians they would actually have there, that just one or maybe more. And these siren items that Hummingway is selling are very handy if, or better say, extremely necessary if you intend to get the best armor of the game. But in the original one, this place did not sell those items. Yeah, his name was Namingway, so these must be Hummingways, not Hemingways. That's different person. But I was saying that they made a special, that how much they actually have people awake. Do they have some sort of cycle, or that Fusoya is basically the main guy running the cycle, that cycle of things, or is it so that he's the only one who actually is awake of all that during all this time? And if so, Lunarians must have ludicrously good ability to endure isolation, or maybe he has lots of way to observe people of the Earth. Hard to say. Very little makes sense in that kind of sense, but basic idea still remains the same. Majority of Lunarians sleep underneath the Earth, or inside the moon. Yeah, let's just... Well, let's just blast out the quake to wipe them out, and Golbait, not Golbait, but Fusoya knows practically every spell of the game. And he doesn't really have much of magic points to make use of them. So he is not that useful, and the fact that he's also quite squishy. But this place, Cave of Bahamut, it has the same music as the Land of Summons, and even the King of Summons said something about there being something even more. So this place is actually that place. The name of the location tells exactly what is going on around here. So when I put off the random encounters, so let's just keep going forward the place and see what is happening. They say get this Genji equipment, which is very potent and handy. And there's the guy wearing robes. Well, let's have a chat with him. Well, he's attack, and he's a behemoth. It's a behemoth. Behemoths are very, very, very powerful enemies, capable of causing big damage. And not just big damage, but big damage quite fast. So let's just blast out biggest spells I have, and it already took out Rydia. And it seems to be countering a lot. So it seems to be that I have to blast out the biggest magics I get at it instead of physical attacks, because if you do the physical attacks, oh yeah, that's a tactic. Hold your attacks until you can just wait for your attack to come up, because its counters are way more dangerous than its attacks. So you can recover. So you can recover from your attacks and then just blast out damage. Oh yeah, Bio didn't do squat to that thing. Although Cecil's physical attacks are quite potent, so... So it ain't that completely pointless endeavor to... Yeah, Edge just doesn't endure attacks at all. Yeah. Leviathan. Cure 3 is quite decent at making sure having the heal feel. So yeah, that was not a basic boss, that was a mini boss or mid boss of this place. So, and there would be more of them. So I would be cutting away all those encounters before going to have a chat with that guy over there. That takes some editing. Now, path is cleared. Time to have a chat with these. Well, that ain't polite. But there's somebody important looking one. Yep, the supreme summon, Bahamut. And he's doing a countdown attack, countdown. So the basic goal is to start wail at him real hard. And make some those stuff so reflects as well while you're at it. Yeah, one. Blasting out, the more you get reflex in, the better. Because that roaring face means mega flare. Only Edge doesn't survive it. And Rydia as well. But that should have hurt. And now I just bring them back to life. And Bahamut of course starts doing the countdown again. So let's just blast out some more flare. That did a nice big chunk of damage. And Edge delivered the final blow. Yep. Fight against Bahamut is all about surviving the Mega Flare, and you can't get enough damage in before he's just gonna roast you into oblivion with it. So reflect it is. And with that I have gained the ultimate summon magic for Rydia as well. Not all of them, because some of them are actually hidden in the basic monsters that you will slay, and you get an item and you can then use it to learn the summon. And those are usually of the low grade summon effect attacks. But if you but you must find them if you want to completely 100% the game. But any case, still leaving to this quite dreary looking but nicely toned dungeon, and with entering the lunar whale I will recover, and next time it is time to travel back to the earth to see what is happening in Tower of Babel, and what is that giant of Babel that Fusoya mentioned. Yeah, that's how I call him. And that's it. See you next time.